What's up guys, it's your boy Kazaris back with another fun little deck profile, and today we have Infernities. Now this is one of my favorite archetypes of all time. It's pretty straightforward. Once you learn the combo, it's going to be almost exactly the same way every single time. So with the skill Infernity Inferno, on our second turn and only on our second turn, so that's either turn 3 or 4 of the duel, depending if we went first or second. We can send 2 cards from our hand to the graveyard to send 2 Infernity cards from our deck to the graveyard. So it's exactly like the trap card, except it can't be cycloned, it can't be cosmic cycloned, it can't be negated, and you always have access to it on the second turn every single time. So other builds try to, like, the power with the thing with Infernity is that it sets up such a disgusting board turn 1 that you would think you would want to try and set up for that, but there's no way to do it consistently enough in this game to warrant like playing a going first build. And usually the going first builds don't play any form of like, or any way to like play through back row outside of like True Need. So if they don't go first, then they're easily interrupted. Whereas this deck has like 2 Cyclones, 2 True Nades. You have like Fiendish Chains and Canadias if you're against a Madame Vare, or a Fire King Arvada. So you have ways to interrupt, or if you open the barrier, you can set barrier turn 1, and then on turn 2 you'll have it to be able to negate things. So that's pretty nice. So you have 6. So the consistency of this deck is about 90% consistent to combo off on your second turn. So you have the 3 Mirage and the 3 Launcher. These both will summon 2 Infernities from the graveyard. Mirage is exactly 2, Launcher is up to 2, but you're gonna want to be summoning 2 monsters with Launcher every time. And the 2 monsters that you're gonna be summoning are Archfiend and Beetle. Now Archfiend, when it is summoned, can add any Infernity card from your deck to your hand if you have no cards in your hand when it's summoned, or when you activate and when you resolve the effect. So, well, on your second turn, you'll be activating Infernity Inferno, discarding 2 cards to send Archfiend and Beetle from your deck to the grave. If you open Archfiend or Beetle, all you have to do is discard 1 and send the other. So that's kind of nice. So it's not awful if you open one of these. It's almost kind of better, but like it's not so much better that it warrants playing multiple Archfiend and Beetle, because the more Archfiend and Beetle you play, the less defensive cards you play. Like if I play another Beetle and another Archfiend, that means I have to cut 2 Cyclones or I have to cut 2 Fiendish Chains, and it's like you have 6 defensive cards here, or like 7 if you go first and open Heatwave. It's just so the game becomes so trivialized. Like opening Heatwave True Nade is disgusting. It feels like you're cheating because your opponent can't play any monsters, and then you just send their back row back to their hand. It feels like you're cheating. So that's why Heatwave is in here, and even if you can't use it, you can just discard it with a skill. So at worst, you just turn Heatwave into Foolish Burial. So you have 6 cards that you want to open, 6 Mirage and 6 Launcher. You have a 90% chance of seeing them. We count this as like 5 or 6 cards, since we can only really combo off on our second turn. So in your first 5 or 6 cards, depending if you went first or second, you have a 90% chance of seeing Mirage or Launcher. So the consistency is pretty high, and even if you don't see them, you can thin your deck with your skill and then survive off of Canadias and Fiendish Chains and stuff like that, and maybe draw into them. So it's probably a little bit higher than that to actually combo off. So the main combo, so you'll use your skill, summon Mirage or activate Launcher, use their effect to summon back Archfiend and Beetle. If you summon Mirage this turn, you're just going to search Launcher the rest of the times with the Archfiend. But if you activate a Launcher first, you're going to search Mirage next, synchro for Coral Dragon, specifically Coral Dragon. Then you're going to normal summon Mirage or activate your Launcher, whichever you didn't do just previously. Summon back Beetle and Archfiend again, and then the next 2 times you're going to search Launcher. So after that, you're going to summon Stardust Charge Warrior. You can draw with its effect because it doesn't matter what you draw, since you'll just be able to discard it with a Coral Dragon to pop a card. And then you'll synchro for Blackwing. Assault Blackwing Onimaru the Divine Thunder, and since you used 2 Synchro monsters to make it, it will gain 3,000 attack when it battles. So it'll go up to 6,000 attack, can't be destroyed by card effects. It's a very good card. This is how you're going to OTK. I would not use Coral Dragon's effect. Well, it depends. So like if you have 2 cards in your back row face down already, do not use Coral Dragon's effect, because if you draw a back row, you have to set it, and now you have 3 cards in your back row and you can't activate the launcher you just searched. Or if you draw, yeah, that's basically it. So if you draw a back row that you can't use, now you're kind of filled. But like if you only have 1 card set in your back row, I would use Coral Dragon, because if you draw like another Fiendish Chain or Canadia, that's even more defense for if your OTK gets stopped by like a Kite Road or a Sphere Kariba or something. Or if you draw a useless Mirage, you can just discard it with Launcher, because that's Launcher's other effect. Once per turn, you can discard an Infernity monster. So that's really cool. So I would still use Coral Dragon if you don't have a full back row, essentially. And then you'll activate Launcher again, summon back Archfiend and Beetle again. Archfiend will search the 3rd launcher. You'll Synchro for Brionac, and then you'll Archfiend Launcher back just Archfiend, or Infernity Launcher back just Archfiend, and search Barrier. So now you'll have Barrier with like Fiendish Chains or Grenadiers if you didn't use them, as well as a field of Archfiend, Brionac, and Onimaru. If you need to bounce something with Brionac, you don't have to search Barrier. You can just search another useless Mirage and discard with Brionac to bounce something, and now you have 6k to the face with Onimaru and 4100 to the face with Archfiend and Brionac. So you have 2 ways to kill your opponent. So just a Sphere Kariba isn't going to kill them through an empty, or isn't going to save them if they have an empty field, because you can kill with Onimaru or you can kill with Brionac and Archfiend. And that's why the OTK is so potent. It's because you just have 3 monsters where like 1 will kill them or 2 will kill them. So that's the deck. It's pretty straightforward. If you're not understanding the combos, once I get into one duel, you'll grasp it pretty quickly. You just have other synchros here. Like these are the main 4 you're going to be using, and then you have White Aura, just a half attack. Like if something, I don't know, you can just half an attack and then beat over something with Onimaru just for an easier OTK that way. Or Scrap Dragon with Onimaru is cool. When you go for the Brionac, instead of bringing back Archfiend last, you can bring back Beetle and make Scrap Dragon with Onimaru. And now Onimaru can't be destroyed by card effects, so you get a free pop with Scrap Dragon every turn. Or you can make Battle Wasp Hama the Conquering Bow. If you make this with like Stardust Charge and Beetle, it gets 2 attacks per turn, since you made it with a Synchro Monster, so that's 5600. And if it deals battle damage, you can reduce the attack of all the other monsters your opponent controls by 1000, as well as their defense. So pretty neat card. Just another OTK mechanic outside of Onimaru. You don't really need it though. I don't find myself making it too often. That could be a Diamond Direwolf. Actually no, it couldn't, because you don't have any rank 4s. Another way you could play it is with Patriarch and Archfiend, just to make rank 4s with Diamond Dire, but I don't think it's needed. So anyway, we're just going to jump right into some duels. Stick around. Alright, so we're up against a My Valentine. We are going first. It's probably best for us to go first. We get to set up our defensive cards. And on our 3rd turn, we don't give our opponent 2 turns to set up. So we have 2 Mirage and Launcher. So the cool thing about opening Mirage and Launcher is that if they interrupt the Mirage, like if they Karma Cut it, or if they Regeki Break it, or if they Ballista Squad it, or if they flip it face down, you still have Launcher. So they essentially have to have 2 ways to stop you if you open Mirage Launcher, so you can still play through 1 interruption that way. Pretty nice. So looks like it's going to be Metaphys. Can we kill? I don't know. We'll see. So he's going to hit 6,500. So Onimaru to the face is not going to kill him. I don't care about stopping aloof. Like, I'd rather just hold this Fiendish Chain for later turns, for like a Daedalus or something like that. So if we can't kill him, Daedalus will just wipe our field, so I'd rather just have this Fiendish Chain. I'm not worried about an aloof Lupine at all. So we're going to draw for turn. We see Cyclone. Do we want to use that? So like, So like I can discard both of these Mirages. If you have to discard either Mirage or Launcher, always discard Mirage, because you cannot use multiple Mirage in a turn unless you like set one on the previous turn and then flipped it and now you have another normal summon. Like you only have 1 normal summon, so you can't summon Mirage twice in a turn, whereas you can use multiple Launcher in a turn. So if you discard Launcher, now you only have Mirage and 2 Launcher, whereas you discard Mirage, you still have Mirage as well as your 3 Launchers. So if you have to choose between those to discard for your skill, always discard Mirage. So he's going to Daedalus here. I think I just want to Cyclone the Soul Absorption just to stop him from gaining more life points, because we can discard both of these Mirages and still have our combo. So I'm just going to Cyclone this Soul Absorption here. feels bad because soul absorption doesn't really do anything. It just gives him life points. But I'm trying to kill him, so grab your coffees too. Don't forget, boys. All right, so skill time. Discarding uno dos, sending uno dos. God, I keep digging for a prismatic archfiend. All I want is one prismatic archfiend. That is all I ask. It's just such a gorgeous card. Don't forget to upgrade your Infernity barriers too for all you Infernity enthusiasts out there. Get that card prismatic. So we're going to go Archfiend effect here. Since we used Launcher, we are going to search our final Mirage. Because we want to use Mirage before our field gets clogged. Because Mirage has to summon 2. Whereas Launcher can summon up to 2. So we're going to summon Coral Dragon first. There is another build with this. There's the Shell of the Ghost build, which stacks Infernity Launcher on top of your deck, and then you make Stardust Charge Warrior. However, I just find it's a little bit more susceptible to interruption because you can play like Trunade, but you can't play any defensive back row. Any defensive back row. Like you can combo turn 1 more easily, sure, and you get 4 launchers. But I just find it to be a little bit more frail, and the consistency isn't high enough to warrant playing it, I don't think. So we're going to go now. We're going to make Stardust Charge. We can pop his Aloof with Coral Dragon, in which case I'll get to add back something, but I don't care that much. Or we can just draw. We just draw another Fiendish Chain, so I'm just not going to pop anything here. That's kind of nice. We're going to make Onimaru. We are not going to draw with Coral Dragon, because since we have 2 back row here, if we draw like a Canadia, we cannot play anymore, and we're just stuck with an Onimaru. And normally 4,300 over his Aloof would be game, but in any other scenario, but he has 6,000 life points. So we're not going to Coral Dragon. We're going to activate Launcher, summon back Archfiend and Beetle again. Archfiend effect, add our 3rd and final Launcher. And we are going to make Brionac. We do not have to bounce with Brionac. But having Brionac on the field is nice because on subsequent turns, we have a bounce 1 every single turn if he doesn't deal with his Brionac. And it also clears our hand so that if we don't activate Launcher will always be live because we have Brionac to discard. So we are going to summon our Archfiend here. Archfiend is going to search our now prismatic Launcher, and he's finally going to scoop it up. I don't know why it took him so long. I guess he was just waiting to see if I messed up. But I do not mess up. So nice, let's do another one. Alright, we're up against Dr. Velian Crowler. God, such a weird character, man. We're going first. Is it Ancient Gears, or is it like a Valkyrie deck that uses middle-aged mechs? Oof. I'm just going to activate Heat Wave here. I don't have to set anything, because he cannot summon any monsters. This is the power of Heat Wave, man. This is disgusting. So it is not middle-aged mechs. Did he activate something that I missed? No. It's not balance. What is it? I'm confused. Beatdown? Yeah, maybe Beatdown. This is going to pass to me. Cool. Say hello to... Oh, nice. That is gorgeous. We don't have to discard any trap cards. We just go 1, 2. Set. Activate. And he should be scooping it up here because we can play through a hand trap. If he has Kiteroid, we can't play through Kiteroid though, because he can block 2 of our attacks. Archfiend search Mirage. Since we used Launcher first, we want to get our Mirage out of the way. Going to make Coral Dragon. We are not going to be drawing with anything here because he has no field, so we have no way to discard. So we are not drawing with Stardust Charge, we are not drawing with Coral Dragon, just not drawing at all. Which seems bad because it's like wasting advantage, but it doesn't matter because our board will be full at the end of this combo anyway. Archfiend, grab our launchers now. Make a Stardust Charge. Do not draw. Do not get trigger happy with Stardust Charge. Do not hit no. There we go. We're going to make Onimaru. And now this should be game. Come on, click. There we go. Jeez. Do not draw with Coral Dragon either. We are going to activate Launcher. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Meaning, if you already have something that's good, do not risk getting something that could maybe be better or worse. We're going to add our 3rd Launcher. third and final one. We're going to make Brionac. I mean, I don't. He's not scooping, so we have to assume he has something to live. He might just have a Spheric Rebo, in which case Archfiend and Brionac is still 4100 for lethal. Plus, if he has a Kiteroid, we still set up this barrier here alongside Fiendish Chain and Canadia with Onimaru and Brionac still. So we're going to go to battle phase, attack for 6,000. So he had nothing. I guess he was just watching us. Nice and swift OTK Heat Wave coming in clutch, preventing him from doing anything. He could have still set a monster, but just one set monster is not an issue for us because we have Coral Dragon to pop it, we have Brionac to bounce it. So very nice. If we had Trunade there, that would have been the absolute god combo. But we did not, so still one. Let's do another one. Alright, we are up against a Yami Yugi. We are going first. Nice. First again. I'm gonna go second one of these times. My hand is good. You have Archfiend, which it's like that Archfiend could have been a Canadia or a Fiendish Chain, but on the other side we don't have to discard 2 cards anymore, so we get to keep more advantage. It's more economically advantageous for us. He's going to Cyclone our Canadia, and now we just hope we don't die because this is one of the downfalls of the deck. Some people play it with Karibo and stuff, but I think we just did we just lose? I mean, if it's just Ascalon, we don't lose. Yeah, so if he discarded a Koos here, he would have had 4,300 on board because he could have summoned 2 Kooses. But I mean, just 3,300 to the face is not a loss. He has to have Divine Lance or another Mistleton here. So we'll see. He could just have like excess Cyclones, in which case we just Trunade it on the next turn. Barca. Oof, woof, woof. Come on, boy. What you got? Choose. Summon. Put him up, boys. Praise. Let's hope we don't die. Come on. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Please. God, the synchro animation is so cool, but it does get a little tiresome. What? He didn't even attack me. Oh my god. Alright, cool. Now we win. Brionac bounce. Activate skill. I almost normal summoned Archfiend on accident. That would have sucked. Set Canadia. I mean, we didn't die there. Like, whether or not he attacked me was irrelevant. Because we're just going to kill him this turn. Like, Black Wings was like this deck's nightmare because they could easily play through like 1 or 2 back row, and then they would just they would just kill you like every single time. So, like, I played this deck in the MCS and like when it came out in August, I went 5-3. I bubbled, unfortunately, lost last round. But yeah, Dark Magician was a pain in the dick. Blackwing was a pain in the dick. What am I doing? Oh, summoning Coral Dragon. So, like, you can draw here with Charge if you want. But, like, I'm not going to pop the... Well, do I pop Ascalon? No, I'm not... It doesn't matter. Because, like... I guess it doesn't matter. Because, like, if I pop Ascalon, he summons Barca, and I just bounce the Barca. If I don't pop Ascalon, I just bounce it with Brionac. So, like, technically, if I pop it first, I get rid of an Ascalon. So I might as well. No reason not to. Or actually, he doesn't have to summon Barca. He can summon like Gay Bulge. Stupid name. No, I'm not gonna draw. Screw it. I will, however, draw with Coral Dragon because I bet we can set an extra back row, or we can, if we draw a Mirage, we can just discard it. So there's a cycle in there, kind of nice. A nice Cyclone. Summon these 2. Yep. Now we will not get Barrier here because since we are discarding with Brionac, I don't want to discard a Barrier. I'd rather just search a useless Mirage and discard that. Just so we can have the potential to draw Barrier on subsequent turns if we don't kill him here. He is at 3k life. No, don't use Brionac yet. Use our final launcher. Summon Archfiend. Ooh. No, I'm going to summon. I was thinking I could make like a hammer or something, but that seems kind of worthless. So add a... Just bounce it. Just bounce the Ascalon. Don't worry about anything else. Don't try and get fancy. Just do what works. So battle phase, attack for game. Nice. So like, it didn't matter if he attacked there with Ascalon. Like, the point was we didn't die, so we had game on the following turn because we had Trunade. So yeah. So awesome. I might let's do one more. Screw it. I'm enjoying this. I like this deck a lot. Fast wins anyway. This is unedited. 3 wins in a row. The deck, it just performs really well. We're up against the Sartorius Kumar. Desperado. We are going second. Master of Destiny. Our hand is very good. We got Trunade to avoid those Karma Cuts and pesky super teams. We have our Mirage Launcher. So like, Desperado doesn't kill very easily. Like, he has to have like Blast Spider with Super Team to summon Desperado from hand. Yeah, so he has to have Super Team to summon Desperado from hand, or like Twin Barrel Dragon with Super Team. Because like, he summons Twin Barrel here, and then like summons Misjudge. Like, he can deal 3,500 to me, but he can't kill me. So I think we're chilling. There's the Cup of Ace. There's the Misjudge. Oof. Misjudge kind of sucks. Okay. So since we're going second here, so before we set anything, we just have to make sure that we have 2 cards to discard. This Misjudge is going to negate the first card we activate once, and then it might negate it the second times. God, theater mode is so garbage. I hate theater mode. So weird. So disorienting. Alright, so we're going to set both of these. Yeah, we're going to set both of those and pass. So Misjudge will negate our first card effect at resolution. So it won't go like we activate Canadia targeting Judge. Judge won't be Chain Link 2. So we can't go Canadia, they chain Judge, we chain Fiendish Chain. That's not how it works. They will just negate the first one at resolution. So I'm going to Canadia this here. Because this will negate it. I'll take 1,800 to the face. Then on the following turn, I'm going to Fiendish Chain. And now they either A, negate it, or B, they don't. But the point is, I just get to activate something, bait the Judge negate, and now I get to Trunade the back row and do my combo. Because I have Launcher or Mirage, whichever I choose. I'm going to choose Launcher because after I Trunade, I'm only going to have 2 other cards I have 3 cards in hand, and if I have to again, as I said earlier, if I have the choice to discard between Mirage and Launcher, always choose Mirage. So we're going to activate Fiendish Chain here. Target Misjudge. It's going to resolve. Not going to negate it. Doesn't matter. Trunade. Bounce the back row. It's probably double Karma Cut. Activate our skill. Go uno dos. Discard. Uno dos. Send. Activate Launcher, and we have the ball game because he does not have a Dark Machine to summon Desperado, and even if he did, we could just bounce it with Brionac. We did not have to pop it with Coral Dragon. So this is why Beetle is superior to like Necro and Avenger. Adding Launcher. That was kind of a mistake. I should have added Mirage. I kind of messed that up, but it doesn't matter because once we get to Onimaru, then we'll have 2 spots again for our Mirage. So we don't have to search Mirage first. You can technically search it second, but you want to search it before the final search with Archfiend, essentially. So we're going to activate our Launcher here. Summon Stardust Charge Warrior. Now we search Mirage. And since we have 2 monsters on the field technically, but we're going to be syncering them away into Onimaru. Just do not search Mirage last because then you won't be able to use it. And you'll only have gotten 3 or only have gotten 3 Archfiend activations that turn. As opposed to 4. So doesn't matter about the draw. Don't care. Just want to avoid anything that would mess us up. Like drawing a Mirage here would mess us up. So like I don't want to draw anything. So I'm just going to Mirage, Summon these two back. Uno dos. Archfiend, grab our last launcher. I don't have to bounce this with Brionac, so I can just easily, safely make, or easily search our launcher, not launcher, our barrier, because I don't have to discard anything. Activate launcher, our final one. Summon this Archfiend. Archfiend effect, search barrier. Set barrier, battle phase, attack with Onimaru for game. There's a ball game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love Infernity so much. Very straightforward. We did the same thing every turn. It's just the order in which we protect and activate things before we combo kind of varies. But the combo itself doesn't vary too much. Like we summon the same 4 synchros every single time to kill our opponent. We just have 3 extra slots to just kind of cover our bases. We just have, in case our OTK gets stopped, we have Hama for a different way to OTK essentially. Or if like Onimaru does, like if they have too many monsters for us to deal with, Hama will deal with the board better than Onimaru will essentially. Like if they have 3 defense position monsters, we can only pop one with, we can't pop any of them. Like if one's indestructible, like a ulti Petalfin or something, then we can only deal with one of them with Brionac. Then Hama can clear the other 2, and Brionac with Archfiend can attack for game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you in the next one. Hopefully the box comes out soon, so I have some more content for you guys. But anyway, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.